I'm not a technician. I don't know which language. I have no time. I can't do it. Let's make it happen. Здравствуйте! My name is Alexander Richter and welcome to TD Monday. Every Monday we discuss topics of VFX, animation and games. So today's topic is how you can start scripting and programming today. Roll the intro. Now you decide to start scripting and programming today. That's already great and you made already the first step. What we now have to do is to take action. The first thing you need to do is to have a clear goal in mind. Why do you want to start scripting and programming? Should you be unsure in this point, check out my video how to start scripting and programming fast. Linked above and below in the description. There I set you up with goals and expectation for this journey. Before we go into action, let's address excuses, since we all face them. Our little excuses why we can't do what we set up to do. In terms of not having enough time to learn a proper skill like scripting or programming, I'm a big believer in the Einstein time. Time is relative and you are where time comes from. Which means we don't have enough time for all the things we don't want to do, but we do have enough time for all the things we do want to do. And every time we do things we like to do, we don't feel the time pressure or we don't have that much of a time problem. If you feel like you don't have enough time, maybe it's because you spend too much time on things that doesn't really matter to you or things you don't really enjoy. Time flies if you do the things you love to do, like going to the gym, meeting friends, or doing hobbies. Learning a practical skill can save you a lot of time every day in mid or the long term. Invest a time in your education and benefit from it. And if you still can't find the time, think of the following mantra. If it's important to me, I should find time every day. To get an everyday effect, I should at first invest every day of work. That's why the why and the how is so important. It is the step you do before you apply a skill. And it doesn't matter if it's scripting or modeling or juggling. First and foremost, you are what you want to be. If you want to be a scripter, a technical artist, or a technical director, you can and you already are. Sure, some things are easier than others, but a lot of times it's just a shift of perspective and experience. Because if you go into this topic like scripting, like you go into the zoo, like watching it through the glass and think, maybe I try, then no wonder you would fail, because your motivation holds for hours, days, even weeks, but then it vanished and then you get to the same point as you were before. There was a study with fresh schoolgirls and they divided this group into two groups, and the one group they said that girls are bad at math, and the other group they said nothing as such. And the result was that the group where they said they will be bad, they performed bad, while the other performed totally normal. And here you say how much the mind sets you up and how much it is important to believe. The only thing holding you back is yourself, because you think you are this but not that. That's why it's so important that you find the why and how before you dive into the deep end. Decide beforehand why you want to add scripting to your artistic skill or why you want to make the technical shift. And I promise you, in a few months, you will ask yourself, why didn't I do it earlier? After we did get our goals in order and all the excuses are out of the way, we need to decide which scripting or programming language we need to learn. And I said need and not want, because the only question you should ask yourself is, what do I need to accomplish my goals? Every language has its fair share of ups and downs. One is easy to learn and to use. One is common and can used mostly everywhere. And one is powerful and fast. No language is perfect, and the more experience you get, the more you see all the patterns between them. And on one or two occasions, you will need to switch between them. So learn one well and you will catch the other just fine. VFX and Animation. Most DCC packages like Maya, Nuke, and Houdini, and so on have their own scripting languages. But if you work in VFX or animation, you will probably use... What did I hear? Yeah, you will use Python. If you want to learn more about Python and its place in the industry, check out my Scripting for Artists introduction video, where I also make the difference between a scripting and a programming language. The alternative is to start with the software scripting language like Mel in Maya, MaxScript in 3ds Max, or TCL in Nuke. I will link all the Scripting for Artists episodes in the description below. The example for the decision could be like this. Maybe you're working in 3ds Max, so MaxScript could be a great option. But maybe you already know that you will make a shift to Houdini, to Maya, to Nuke, to whatever you want to work in. Then probably Python would be the better option. Games. You can create games in basically any language, but a very common language for basic and complex games is C++. A very strong and, depending on your skills, very fast language, but it will be very demanding and it's hard to master. C++ is a beast of a language. A valid alternative for creating games from scratch is using a user-friendly game engine like Unity, like Unreal, like Crytek. The benefit of them is they already give you a basic environment to work and they streamline the basic functions into making games. In terms of Unity, you will have to start with C#, which I will personally recommend because it's a strong programming language, also solo, or JavaScript, which has a broad field of use, especially in web. Unreal and Crytek use basically C++, which is a strong language, but as said before, hard to master. In terms of scripting and programming language, think about the needs and the environment now, and think about the needs and the environment in the near future. And if you're not sure, take the common one because no one knows how things will develop. All the DCC packages allow you to script in them. From Maya to Unity, everyone has a working version of the script or programming language they support and an editor to write in. So you can start right away. Open its editor, copy some code from the internet, and go. But it can be very beneficial to have a desktop version of the language and a script editor installed. Because let's face it, most of the editors in the software packages are very basic, plain simple, or simply bad. Especially in terms of usability. If you like code highlighting, completion, batch editing, spell check, and extra feature, modern external script editors are better. As a simple, customizable, and with some add-ons powerful script editor, I will recommend Sublime Text Free, and it will set you up for all the scripting languages, including Python and JavaScript. Let me show you quick how you can set up Python using it in Sublime Text Free. Step 1. Go to the Python homepage, download the newest version, and install it. Should you want to work mostly in DCC packages like Maya, Nuke, Houdini, and Max, you should download the newest 2.7 version, since there are changes between the second and the third version, and there are some cases incompatible. There will be a change to version 3 in the near future, but at the time of this video, we're still at version 2. Step 2. Go to the Sublime Text homepage, download it, and install it. Step 3. Now you need to add the path of your Python installation to the path environment variable, so both Windows and Sublime Text know that the Python path exists and it is important. Step 4. Next, you open up Sublime Text Free, write some basic test code like print hello world, save the file as test.py and execute it by pressing Ctrl B. Now you're ready to go. I would also recommend to install some add-ons since Sublime Text is as strong as its additions. One is AutoPep 8, so you stay consistent while you script. One is PlainTasks, so you can plan your task in Sublime Text. One is BracketHighlighter, and some more. I will put them in the description. Play a little bit around with the customization like colors, font, width, and so forth. It might seem a waste of time in the beginning, but setting up your working environment and your preferences will help you to stay focused and feel more comfortable, especially because you won't do it later. You now have all the tools to start today. Look out for a small project and 1 or 2 series which you can watch while you work on your small project. Let me know in the comments below of your experience in learning scripting or programming, or if you encounter any problems. And as always, like and subscribe if you like to subscribe and want to see more videos. Print credits. Is everyone gone? Good. Now, the real way of learning scripting and programming is first